Hello, beautiful people. How are you today? I'm here to talk about some things that are very disturbing to me, and what you're about to hear is very disturbing, but it needs to be known. People really need to understand what is going on in the world right now, besides all of the economics and all of the financial crisis that is made by the elite. This specific video is going to expose what they do, and one thing that I want you to understand is the sick, inbred, bastardized, rapist, twisted elite buy and sell women and children on the underground black market and do away with them like they're a piece of paper. They have no regards for human life. This is the only reason why they're truthfully in power right now, not because they're rich, because they are satanic, because they're sadistic, and they're very well known for going into homes and actually destroying lives. This is what the Rothschilds are notorious for. I would like to let you know the reason that I'm doing this video also, because I've been inspired by a woman that I've met, and her story is absolutely heartbreaking. And after you hear what I have to tell you about what she has shared with me, you will not believe it. But before I do that, I will give you a recap on a little bit of my history dealing with the female cartel and things that I did that I thought that I was going to get killed doing. I actually really didn't care because of what they did to the love of my life in Romania. I was working as a musician in a studio and living in this studio. It's actually a 3-story, or was it? No, excuse me, 4-story home. And I was living in the basement, which is turned into about 4 different studios. And so one of them was actually mine and my room, and across from me was another guy's studio named Kosmin, Tom Boxer, the Russian pimp that actually ended up getting paid to take my girlfriend, take her to brothels, and pretty much mutilate her body and dump her in Russia. It took me a while to find this out, and they even sent British agents at me to destabilize what I was doing. And the thing that I was doing was I was going in front of all of their establishments that I knew of, the female cartels establishments, which is Nika Geru and Levi Moranu. They own Space Music, Space Club Ibiza. This is why Nika Geru is nicknamed the King of Spain, because he's increased the trade of women and children to Spain tenfold. And that's another, side of the black market that the elite and the world don't talk about, because they don't report the money. It's black money. So I went to war with these people when I found out exactly these people were paid by the Paracelsus Freemason group. That is the group that runs Romania, the Freemason elitist group that runs Romania. They paid Tom Boxer to do this to my girlfriend simply because of who my family is, and I didn't want to join the Freemasons there. And also Tom Boxer stole a hit track from me and another producer. a track called Beautiful Day. And so for them to send a message and for him to send a message to me, his blood sacrifice to become a Freemason was actually my girlfriend. So this very much happened to me in Romania. And I tried to apply for asylum in Romania from the United States, but then this happened to me in Romania. And so I went to Paris and tried to file for asylum. And I really learned about Paris and Paris's real history and how the Rothschilds own more of Paris than any Frenchman. It is basically Rothschild world, France, and especially Paris. So I learned the hard way. I was attacked, had my arm broken, head trauma, my fingers broken. They sent me a message. So I couldn't stay on the streets like this and heal and living on the streets and doing what I was doing. My best way I could was surviving and trying to expose them. I was forced to come back to America, and here I am in this shithole now. So I am still being targeted. I'm a TI, a targeted individual, because of what I did, what I exposed about Nika Garu and Fashion TV and the guys that actually run the European female trade with the CIA. And yes, I did meet Nika Garu when I was working at the Radisson. He was being shadowed by 3 CIA agents, which I actually blew their cover and pointed out when they were in the place the same time as him. They have shitty haircuts and they just stick out like a sore thumb. So at the time I thought they were watching him, but they were shadowing and protecting him. Now I'm going to tell you about Laurel Aston. I hope it's okay that I'm using her name. I was actually told by her it's not actually her real name. It is the name that was given to her by the CIA. It is her CIA given name because in actuality she was taken from Kenya at the age of 4 and sold into sex trafficking. And she is in America right now, and she is waiting for asylum. And I've been trying to get recordings from this woman for her to talk about what she's been through, what she's gone through, because she's made several very informative posts again and again on my news page. And I've learned a lot from her. She is actually the only person that I have actually met that actually knows exactly what I'm going through, exactly what I've been through, and the things that I learned and found out about what they do to women and kids that is so horrific. It is beyond belief. Now, what they're doing to this woman right now, what her handlers, what the cops and the CIA and the thugs around her are doing, they're still trying to handle her because she's seeking asylum, because she's a traffickee from the age of 4. And they have done so many horrific things to this woman and given her a CIA name because she is actually a CIA, FBI sex slave. And there are many of them. Many of these sex slave children that are also trained to be soldiers and super soldiers and whatever they need to get the job done. Now, I asked her why couldn't she, make a recording and send it to me and I can make a video of it. And she told me she doesn't have a computer. She shared the wonderful story with me that every time she gets a computer, these thugs, these CIA fucks always break into her house. These handlers always break into her house and then bust up her computers and stuff like that or steal them. And then the cops come and the cops are actually working for them and trying to get her to sign papers stating false claims that this didn't happen this way and it happened this way, and this actual person, she just lost it instead of having somebody actually break into her house. See, this is the stuff that I had to live with in Romania, and this is why I don't really go many places in Houston and don't spend much time away from my home, because I know for a fact whenever I go away from this house and there's no one here, they come in and do whatever they want. Go inside my computer, put stuff, take stuff, delete stuff. But who am I supposed to tell? No one's going to believe me. So now I've actually met someone that's actually sharing the same stories as me and the same thing that I've been trying to tell people since I started putting videos on YouTube from Romania, living in the snow, because the cartel paid money for me to lose my apartment, paid money to make sure that I don't get hired anywhere, paid money to make sure that people say and think I'm crazy and talk shit about me and to stay away from me and to isolate me. But I survived in the snow when I was homeless. I didn't die. I survived the attacks on the paid cops time and time again. They've actually tried to lock me up 3 different times here in Houston, Texas with the cops. I've exposed that my stepbrother is a fucking hitman, a military hitman, ex-Marine, Navy SEAL, does security for Puff Daddy, the motherfucker that really pulled the trigger on Biggie. I've exposed all of their shit again and again and again, and no one does a thing. Why? Because I'm talking about the elite. Because they can give someone $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 just to turn their head and do nothing. They piss on that. This is what the elite do, because they run the sex rings. They run the sex trafficking. Not only are they the richest people in the world, controlling all of the information, societies and governmental agencies, and sitting on all the gold of the world and all the stolen wealth of the world, and committed genocide against the Indians and Africans and people time and time again. But people don't want to study history. They don't want to know the truth about how they take kids and put them in houses, put them in underground facilities where you can go in a house, go underground, or go in a restaurant, go underground, and go into a sex traffic ring and have sex with kids or women or do whatever the hell you want. This is all paid for and sponsored and covered up and hidden by the CIA and the FBI, because the elite controls them. The Nazis control them. The same Nazis that came over to the United States under Operation Paperclip. But people don't want to believe that it's so prevalent, and they don't want to believe that Bush is related to Obama, and Obama is also Dick Cheney's nephew. It's like one big happy family, and these people are trying to tell us there's no money, economic crisis. Why? Because they have all the money. They're sitting on all the money. And now they're trying to force the world into an economic crisis and world war, while they want to come in and just kill us and lock us up and put whoever they want into their sex trade and do whatever they want, people. They've been doing it. They did it to this woman at the age of 4, and now she's waiting for the fucking UN to grant her asylum in some country. Why do you have to wait? I mean, she's waited all her life. She's had to have reconstructive surgery on her face, because one of the things that they love doing is massacring your face and then putting you through crazy tortures. Even, she told me they even cut out pieces of her jawbone and said, if you want a new face, you gotta work for it. What do you mean work for it? Do whatever they want her to do. These people are sexual, satanic deviants beyond your comprehension, people. But everybody wants to watch bullshit Fox and all the networks that they own. And they refuse to see what goes on in front of your own faces. I mean, just, what was it, 2 months ago? When they had the sex slave, Mexican house, whatever, the girls that were kidnapped and saved by the black guy. You know, that black guy is homeless now because he lost his job. Can you believe it? Yeah. A man that saved 3 girls in a sex trade house, and they have been missing for years. That man is homeless. This is what America has come to. People don't want to see it. They don't want to recognize it. They don't want to even understand that it could be going on in the house right next door to you or right underneath you in an underground facility that you don't know anything about. Let me point something out to you, people. Do you know about the Mexican cartel in Texas? Do you know about the female cartel in Europe? Let me tell you one of the things that the female cartel do in Europe. They will have 5-star restaurants so these elitists can go there and spend their money and then go in the basement to their sex brothels and eat and fuck and then come back upstairs, eat, and then go back downstairs. In the U.S., they have the same thing. Okay? Imagine you are part of the, say, Mexican cartel, which they were busted for digging a tunnel, a huge tunnel, to smuggle their money and drugs back and forth from one house to another house that was across the border. Do you know how long that tunnel was? There have been several incidents that this has happened. That tunnel was miles and miles long. Imagine the Mexican cartel buys a house, starts digging per se from the garage, and whole underground nice little facility, lays cement under there, and starts taking kids and women in this facility. And say it's protected and sanctioned by maybe the CIA or cops. And say they just dig out a huge facility underground, which they can do, because who's going to stop them? It's underground. So, you know, they have their sex brothel over here, and they have their weed growing over there, and here you go, America. They don't want to wake up to the possibilities or even the facts of what's going on behind closed doors and under your own homes. So I hope this video is enlightening to the people that actually want to take the time and listen to it and want to take the time to try to find out more information about what's really going on. Because this bullshit economic crisis and this World War III, these sadistic, evil, satanic, Freemason fucks are trying to force the world in, is bullshit. The facts are, the Windsors and the Rothschilds are so fucking rich that they could food and clothe every man and child on the face of the earth and woman 8 to 10 times over. Yeah, and that's their entire life, okay? And this is a fact. This is just based on a survey that was done in the 90s, based on the Rothschilds' equity. 8 to 10 times over. Yeah, and that's their entire life, okay? This is a fact. This is just based on a survey that was done in the 90s, based on the Rothschilds' equity. 8 to 10 times over. Yeah, and that's their entire life, okay? This is a fact. This is just based on a survey that was done in the 90s, based on the Rothschilds' equity. That's their property that they own, not the gold that they don't let anyone see that they've stole, that the Nazis actually stole. That gold, you know? So people want to believe there's an economic crisis, and they want to believe the American government and Obama when they're clearly lying to your face because you're too stupid to put two and two together and say, oh, that makes more sense than what's really going on. Well, you know what makes even more sense? The Federal Reserve Bank and Trust is European, owned by the Rothschilds, controlled by the Rothschilds. It also prints the euro, owned by the Rothschilds, controlled by the Rothschilds. And these are the same people that are telling us there's no money. These are the same people that are sex trafficking and doing whatever the hell they want to anybody that really threatens them and threatens to topple their evil foundation. Well, I really don't care. They tried to kill me. You know, I've gone in front of Nika Gerdu's establishments, Mr. Romania's, Mr. Untouchable, their biggest fucking gangster, pedophile, sick fuck. Went in front of all of his establishments, Fashion TV, you know, Buffalo Steakhouse, Margarita Restaurant, same place, has a brothel in the basement that's a 2-minute walk from the U.S. consulate in Romania. I was actually shown this place by people that used to work at the consulate and work for the U.S. government and are friends with Levi Moranu, the owner of that restaurant that has a brothel in the basement. The man that puts his hands on the dotted line, puts his signature on the dotted line for Nika Gerdu. His father, Levi Moranu's father, controls the trade in between Romania and Moldova and Russia. Okay, so I know my shit when it comes to over there. Levi Moranu is actually also, he's an American citizen. He also spent some time, enough time in America to get that citizenship. Or he probably paid for it. And he's such a good guy, he married one of his whores. And, you know, Romania knows this, and they all know him, and they think he's a good guy because, oh, he married a whore. But what they don't know is this guy that married a whore actually, you know, he transports and exports innocent women and children and turn them into whores for the CIA and the FBI and whoever wishes to do whatever the fuck they want with this black money. So the point I'm trying to make to you is these motherfuckers are trying to tell you there's no money. They're making hand over fist. What about the drugs and the heroin in Iraq? Where's that money going, U.S. government? Huh? Black money. Where's all the money going from the sex trade that you control with Nika Gerdu and Levi Moranu and the Russians and the Croatians and China and Japan? They're all in on it, man. Where's all that black money going, huh? And they want to tell you, oh, we're in an economic crisis? Christ! They're lying through their teeth, and people just don't lack the intelligence to clearly see it. It is beyond me how these people on TV, these news reporters that get paid a shitload of money to lie to you on TV to your face every day, cannot put these simple facts together. Because prostitution ain't legal, sex trade ain't legal, trafficking women and children is not legal, harvesting women and children's organs once you're done having sex with them or doing whatever you want isn't legal, selling the parts of aborted babies from sex slaves ain't legal. But I can guarantee you it's a shitload of black money. Where's all that money, huh? And then you get into the elites, Rothschilds and Windsor's money that they've stolen from the world, and all the stolen Nazi gold that they have. Where's that money? And they want you to think that we're in an economic crisis and people are actually fighting over what? What are people fighting over? This is the question, huh? Land? Food? Stop killing us over nothing because you want to control us and enslave our country and we want to be free, you fucking elitists? People are fighting. That's why people are fighting. But people don't want to hear it. They don't really want to understand it. And they want to talk bullshit. And they want to continue to post bullshit everywhere when the truth is slapping you right in the face. Because what I say makes a lot more sense than what the news says. Every day. All you got to do is check your economics, understand statistics, and please, for God's sakes, watch the film Money Masters. Breaks it all down to you. And that film was done a long time ago. That was before, it was done before Evelyn Rothschild was announced the richest man in the world. So no one actually knows how much money they have. But we're supposed to believe there's no money, and we got Obama talking about, oh yeah, your checks that are written from the Federal Reserve owned by the Rothschilds on August 3rd, you might not get it. Oh, we need to cut back on food stamps, Americans, because the Rothschilds said so. Because Obama is the Rothschild's choice for president. The motherfucker's not even American. He's Indonesian. And he is operating outside of Congress. He has the right to control the military and the army. And this is one of the only things Congress does and can veto the president not to do. But see, Congress wants to impeach Obama, and so Obama has passed all these laws, and he's even wiretapping and threatening Congress. Because Congress wants to impeach his lying ass. Because what? He wants to cover the tracks of the elitists that want to fuck little boys and girls because they're homosexuals and Satanists and just sick motherfuckers. Please, people, wake up. Understand what's going on. I'm putting this out into the universe because I just got really disturbed from talking to someone that I really do care about, because she touches a core in me, a place in me that actually no one can understand. And she's helped confirm things and help me understand things and remember things and dive back into things that these motherfuckers have tried to make me forget, with all the psychological warfare that's going on me every day. This is what they're doing to me right now. They are attacking my mind when I sleep. They're blasting me with microwave weapons 24/7. And the only person that I really have talked to that's understood all of this and actually, took it a bit further and said, yeah, that's called this and this and this, and that's been done to me too, and blah, 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 da, da, da. And we actually carry on with a conversation, other than if I talk about this stuff, people just don't know what to say. Because they're like, oh, you on some other shit, you crazy, this. No. I'm sorry, you just don't know. You go home and you watch TV every day and you follow the bullshit news and you swallow those lies every day. Well, let me tell you something, people. Everything's about to change. Edward Snowden got asylum in Russia for a year today. He's going to become a legend. And the stuff that he's going to release, what he knows about these fucking Nazi, CIA, NSA fucks that are data mining us and feeding all of that information into their supercomputer, the Beast. Well, that's one person that they're never going to catch. God bless Snowden. Thank you for the information. God bless Russia for taking him in and saying, fuck you, America, and for giving Bradley Manning 136 years. That's just some evil shit, you know? He's a whistleblower. He exposed the truth. But when we have a president, you know, that goes on TV and lies to us about sexual relations with one of his own cabinet members and then goes back and tells us he lied, we don't do shit to him. But then when somebody exposes the truth of what's really going on in Iraq and what the war is really about, and we know 9/11 is bullshit because there's been warrants issued for Bush and Obama as war criminals, because that's what they are. Boston was another attack on Americans to take away from the news that, gee, that particular lawsuit was filed against these two motherfuckers. So they do the whole Boston bombing really quick, huh? Well, even the Boston bombing's falling apart. There's news on RT proving that that's fake. But so many people refuse to believe the truth. I mean, can't you see all of their stuff is falling apart because they're so wicked? And when the truth really comes out about what they are, you know why they're trying to take away the guns, Americans? Huh? Imagine when the truth comes out that these Freemasons are into this sex trade and all of their Masonic temples have basements and they have sexual orgies with kids and sex slaves. Huh? What do you think America and the world is going to do to these motherfuckers? Huh? The same thing that the French did when they found out about it. They hunted them down and burned them at the stake. That's all. Point blank. That's what they're so scared of. That's why I'm making this video, to try to inform people about Laurel Aston and what she's going through and how she's waiting for asylum. And she was kidnapped at the age of 4 years old. And made a sex slave at 4 years old, people. 4. I mean, 4 years old. She was a baby. And she's waiting for the UN to grant her asylum. Do you see how fucked up that is? God bless all the women that are going through this. All the women and children that have lost their lives through this battle. Remain strong, have hope. Because people are really clueless. And honestly, majority of the world just don't give a fuck. But I do. Have a good day and try to inform people. And God bless you, Laurel. We'll figure something out because I want you to talk about your stories and your life. People need to know, people need to hear what you have to say. So I'm going to do everything in my power to try to do this some way, somehow. The woman was 4 years old. And she is like me, you know. I haven't had a relationship or a lover since this happened to my girl, because this has totally consumed my life and no one will understand the things that I've seen and gone through. And I don't know if I will ever be okay to try to have a normal relationship with anyone. Just because of the fact that, you know, you just aren't going to understand. And people, honestly, they don't want to. They would rather be given some money and go about your business, turn your head. This is the world we live in. But I'm not one of those people. And when I die, when I stand before my God and look back on my life, this is what I did with it. I can say to God, this is what I did. I tried. I might not have been rich, I might not have money, but when I was broke, and even when they were blasting me with microwaves and trying to, you know, dissect my brain and lock down certain parts so I forget this and this and this and come off as not intelligent, and they try to dumb me down, I did this, and I still remain faithful and vigilant throughout all of this, just so maybe one or two or three people, this will give them belief and strength, you know, that someone is out there and someone is trying to expose what is really going on behind closed doors on women and children, and have been for a very long time in America and throughout the world. We will never be free until these elitists are gone. They're so sick, they're so sadistic, it is beyond belief. They don't care about women, they don't care about children, they're Satanists. What is the Satanist, you know, law? Do whatever makes you feel good, whatever makes you happy, indulge. This is what they are, this is what they do. If killing someone makes you happy, do it. That's what they do. If having sex with a 4-year-old child makes you happy, that's what they do. It is so disgusting. They are so vile. They are so sick and twisted. This is beyond mine and your comprehension. But the fact of the matter is, this is what they do. They have become so rich and so powerful, they can hide what they do behind closed doors, and money and power, and organizations like the FBI and the CIA and the NSA are sticking their probes up my ass and your ass every day. When these sick elitist motherfuckers are raping women, kids and children and passing them around in their underground circles and trafficking them from the Vatican, from Romania, from Bulgaria, from Russia to Houston, Texas, to Paris, to China, to Asia, all over the world. But the NSA wants to watch us with Prism when it's just a handful of rich, sick, demented, evil people that they need to watch and lock up or fucking kill. And we're supposed to believe these motherfuckers are there to protect us? They're protecting these evil, sick motherfuckers. And that's it. And by what I say in their own actions, this is proof. Wake up, people. Wake up. Stop living the lie and lying to yourself and believing their lies and being so ignorant to these simple facts that are so easy to take in. And thank you to Snowden for releasing what he did worldwide. Should show you how evil the NSA is. How evil the FBI and the CIA are. Because they're supposed to be the most informed groups of intel people in the world, and you're telling me that these $1 million assassins, Blackwater, that Monsanto's the fucking most poisonous company in the world, the same people that made Agent Orange that controls 85% of the food in all minority areas and poisoning us, you're telling me they can't stop those guys? But they can data mine and record all of our conversations over the net and telephone conversations and do all that stuff. What they're actually doing is they're stalking us and they're sexual profiling us. What I mean sexual profiling, what do you like? Where do you go? What do you drink? So if one of these sick sadistic bastards wants our wife or our girlfriend or our child, boom! They know how to get it. They know how to manipulate a situation. They know how to push your buttons and what makes you think and what makes you tick and what are you going to do if they do this and put this person here and this person knows this and this and this and then boom, that person's gone. This is what the Prism is all about, people. It ain't about terror. It ain't about terrorists. It's about sexual profiling and mental profiling of every fucking person in the world. So if they want to go and fuck you and take you into a brothel or take your kid or ruin your life, they can at a push of a button by sending a file to an agent to walk into your life, knowing everything about you, saying the right things just to fuck your shit up. This is Prism. This is why it exists. They are profiling us. They are predators. They are sexual predators. If a pedophile had access to Facebook and could go into anybody's account, anybody's file, read anything about any lady, do anything that they want, and then be rich and have enough money to be outside their home or go to the club that they're going to, say all the right things and get them where they want and just fuck them or impregnate them or do whatever they want. This is Prism. This is sexual profiling. These are sadistic predators that are sitting behind Prism and the CIA and the FBI with their fingers on the button. Oh, she looked good. I want that. Oh, that little boy looks good. I want that. Oh, his parents do this and this and this, and they read this and this and this, and they go to work at this time and this time, and Johnny walks home on this street this way and this way because, oh, he wears the new RDIF tag, and we know wherever he is, and we can pick him up and do whatever we want to him. They are sexual predators, people. This is why they want to watch everything that we do. This is why they want to control everything that we do. They are sadistic. Now that I say it, now that you hear it, doesn't it make a little bit more sense than asking yourself, why do they want all this information about everyone? Why are they profiling everyone? They're sexual predators, people. They're witches and warlocks. They're Satanists. And they're sick as shit. And they fuck kids. They fuck little boys. They take women and run experiments on them. They put women in brothels. They transport them all across the world. Say a Muslim of the Muslim Brotherhood sees your beautiful blonde girlfriend and just, oh, she's beautiful, I gotta have her. Here's 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 100,000. She's delivered to him in a week. Nobody ever sees her again. She's off in a Muslim harem. This is the world we live in. But people really don't want to put 2 and 2 together and see that it makes 4. They would rather have Fox and Obama and Evelyn Rothschild and the wicked Queen of England and her bullshit family say 2 and 2 is 8. And everybody's like, oh, okay, yeah, you're right. And people are just that stupid. Yeah. This is the world we live in. This is the dumbed down society, how they cannot put these simple things together and just think. So I hope this video is shared. It will wake some people up, but I'm actually making this video to give respect to one person. A woman that was taken at the age of 4 into a sex trade and sold by the CIA, by the largest, most underground sex trafficking ring from Dolce to Europe, from Africa to America to Romania to Paris to Texas to New York. They run it. The things she has told me has absolutely broken my heart, made me cry. That's a hard thing to do because of what I've seen and what I've been through. Her story is so heartbreaking, and they just won't leave her alone. And they pay the fucking cops in New York to fuck with her. She don't have a job. She doesn't have money. She's waiting on the UN, the United Nations, to say, oh, okay, we'll give you asylum. Based on her testimony her stories, the names that she knows. Literally. How can the UN have the audacity to make someone wait? She's waiting to breathe. She is waiting to actually sit in a house and not worry about anything like I am. She is waiting to feel okay in her own skin, if that's even possible. Because I know I don't know, and I know she doesn't know. But God bless you for what you've done, Laurel, and how much you speak about the things you've gone through and how open you are about everything. God bless you. And to all of my rogue intel agents out there, all you guys, please do what you can. Protect her. Be ruthless. Be cutthroat. You know what they did to my girl. You know what you saw. You know what you showed to me. So she's in New York, New York. The belly of the beast. So stay strong, Laurel. And stay strong. Traffic children and women. It's just absolutely disgusting, this world and what it's become. And what the police, the FBI, the CIA, and the cops, what they so-called run around and do. We're protecting you. We're upholding the law. Yeah, right. You don't give a shit. Because most of them, they think with one thing, and that's their dicks. And that's how they get the police and the CIA, that's how they get control of these motherfuckers. They give them access to, kids, women, children, little boys, whatever. They don't say anything because they're involved in it. And then if, one of their other agents find out, they usually kill him, because he doesn't want to play ball and understand that, this agent, has sold his soul to pedophile, stalker, Satanist, Nazis, sick fucks. Have a blessed day. Peace.